What is up, everyone? Jay here with another Fire Emblem Heroes video, and today we're going to take a look at the Dust Storm Mercenary banner, another desert banner, and this year it is Jehanna themed, I believe, from Sacred Stones. That's one of the notable locations in that game, and we have some cool choices in my opinion. Ike was a given. He was pretty much, everybody knew it was him in the silhouette, because Ike's hair is, I mean, he's him, right? So yeah, Ike is a Lance Infantry this time, which is pretty cool, because he doesn't have any Lance Infantry alts, or Lance alts in general, or no blue alts, I don't think so. Must be nice. As someone who's also a fan of another popular lord, Marth, I really wish Marth could have had a blue alt, or I hope he gets one someday. But Ike gets his, and Swirling Lance is his weapon, -1 cooldown. At the start of both phases, if unit is within 2 space of an ally, grants speed defense +6, increases speed difference necessary for foe to make a follow-up attack by 10. So he basically has that, what is it called? The frozen kind of thing, which is really good and can potentially make you very annoying to take out. So he gives that as a status effect to himself and his allies, along with Null Panic. And Null Panic, we're seeing it more and more, along with a lot of Panic last year. So I like that we're getting more Null Panic, because in my opinion, it's very useful, with a lot of the meta units having it, like Larather. And then if unit is within 3 spaces of an ally, grants a bonus to all of his stats equal to the number of allies within 3 spaces of unit times 3 plus 5, maximum 14, deals true damage, 20% of his speed, excluding AoEs, and reduces damage from the foe's attacks by 20%. As expected, flat DR is pretty much needed in this metagame to compete, and he gets some of that. And then also he reduces, as a DR piercing, by 50% for regular damage reduction. So Swirling Lance is very good, very simple weapon, but very effective. Having this status effect is something we haven't seen as a supportive kind of thing, so that's very cool for Ike. Aether's Path is his new Aether skill. When special triggers, boost damage by 75% of the greater of foe's speed or defense. Okay, that's interesting. And restores 50% of HP, so that's pretty cool. Aether giving him healing is very nice. And then on top of that, he has Null Guard and also Deep Wounds reduction. So Fatal Smoke is not going to reduce his healing all the way, which is nice, because Aether that's what it's about. It's giving you that damage and then that healing. So having Deep Wounds reduction is really cool. And then he also has Null Counter Disrupt built in, because why not? So he doesn't have to run Null Counter Disrupt in the B, or in the X slot. Not that he would really want to do that, because he wouldn't be able to run this skill, but having Null Counter Disrupt is amazing for an Omni tank. And then he also reduces damage by X percentage during combat. X equals 50 minus the current special cooldown count value times 10. But if unit special trigger during this combat, X equals 50. Okay, so yeah, he gets 50% DR if the special triggers. So Aether's Path, amazing skill. I do appreciate it when these skill descriptions aren't super duper long. So simple but effective. So Ike is going to be one of the best Omni tanks in the game. And now that I'm thinking about it, he might be a little bit better than Attune Sita, who's also one of the best Omni tanks, though. Attune Sita has the dual effectiveness, which can definitely matter, because she's better against, cavalry units and armor units, I'd say, generally. But I can still deal with those, and having Null Counter Disrupt built in his weapon is amazing. And having that unique, speed difference necessary support is really cool. So Ike, one of the better Omni tanks now, one of the best for sure. Distant bonus doubler, as it is for many units that want to counterattack. And then he has Lagoo's Loyalty. So Lagoo's Loyalty, at first I thought this was a preferred skill, but then I saw the border and realized it's not, because it doesn't have Lagoo's Friend, doesn't have the Lagoo's Friend number after it. So I thought maybe it is preferred skill, but it's not. So Lagoo's Loyalty is, okay, I wouldn't say it's straight up better than Lagoo's Friend, but it is better for faster units. So a lot of the faster units that want to use Lagoo's Friend would rather have this skill, because it scales off your speed, and Lagoo's Friend scales the flat damage reduction based on your defensive res. But this one is going to be reducing damage from foes attack by 20% of your speed. It gives you the same special jump as Lagoo's Friend. It doesn't give you the full damage reduction piercing, however. That's one thing that differentiates them. So you have to have the special cooldown count value 3 or greater. And also, yeah, the damage reduction is only by 50%, I think. Yeah, by 50%, right? Or if foes attack and trigger unit special, reduces the percentage of units non-special reduced damage X skills by 50. Okay, because regular Lagoo's Friend, or yeah, that one is full DR piercing on the special triggers. And then there's a 20% DR based on your speed, and then grant special cooldown count -2 to unit before your first attack. And then also, if foe initiates combat, decreases speed difference necessary for unit to make a follow-up attack by 10, and you deal +7 true damage. And also the Goose Friend also gives you some true damage as well, but that one was percentage based. So this one's pretty much like Goose Friend in a lot of ways, as you might expect, but it does have some key differences, as I just noted. So for faster units like a Toon Tamara, for example, she would probably want this more than the Goose Friend. So, and for Ike, of course, he's really fast, this version of Ike. Emblem Ike, however, he doesn't want to use this. He wants to keep his Goose Friend, but for faster units and faster infantry units, should I say, because it's another infantry only skill, Lagoose Loyalty is the go-to. So it's kind of crazy that they made another Lagoose skill, but here we are. Times Pulse Edge is a new C skill. At the start of turn, if your cooldown count is the maximum value, grant -1 special cooldown count to unit. Grants bonus to your attack and speed during combat equal to the number of, equal to the unit's maximum special cooldown count value +2. And also, if unit's special cooldown count is the maximum value after combat, grants -1 to unit. So this one seems like it's better than Times Pulse 4 for sure, because you get stats. So we have another power creep kind of skill, Times Pulse Edge. I do like the icon, the colors are cool. So that is Jehanna Ike, really strong unit, one of the best tanks in the game. And I mean, lance infantry tanks are just, they're stacked. We got a Toon Tamara, a Toon Sita, now we have Ike here. So he's going to be a powerhouse and going to be really hard to double, because even if you're really fast, he's going to make the speed difference even harder, because he has 2 sources of that. So that's insane. Now here's the character I'm most excited for, my girl Malice. Malice is, if you don't know, if you haven't played FE3 or FE12, she's one of the mercs in the game. She has a wholesome relationship with her dad Dice, and she's been underrated. I think her design is amazing, and her art here is also amazing. So here is Malice. Sadly, another sword infantry, because her base version is also sword infantry, so sadly no variants there. But I'm really happy that Malice got an alt, and I thought I'd be able to skip this banner, but it looks like I'll have to pull for her. She's not my absolute favorite Arcanea character or anything, but she is someone I've always liked, and I'm really pleasantly surprised to see her get an alt here. So Swirling Scimitar, or Scimitar, -1 cooldown if skill compares, so Phantom Speed, basically this Phantom Speed, not full Phantom Speed, but +7's Phantom Speed. At start of player phase or enemy phase, if unit is within 3 space of an ally, grants attack speed +6, dodge, and penalty neutralization to unit during combat to unit and your allies within 2 space for 1 turn. So this is decent. It's not as good as Ike's, because dodge is, while it can be useful, there is so much damage reduction piercing. So, you know, dodge isn't as useful as it used to be, but it still has its place sometimes when there isn't. So that is, yeah, that's a thing. And then if unit is within 3 spaces of an ally, grants bonus to your stats based on the number of times unit has been enhanced using Dragon Flower. So one or more times grants +14 stats, 0 times grants +10, and then also grants -2 cooldown count to unit before foe's first attack, and reduces damage from the foe's first attack by 25% of unit speed during combat. So 25, usually it's 20, but this one is 25, but it's only on the foe's first attack, so you do get some flat damage reduction, which is nice, including the brave hits. And also, if unit's next attack deals damage, you equal that total damage reduced from foe's first attack, so you have damage reflection. So that is awesome, and it's going to make her a lot better, because overall this weapon was a little bit underwhelming, honestly, for modern times, but the fact that she has damage reflection is nice. I mean, the flat damage reduction is modern, but she definitely needed this damage reflection. So your next attack will deal damage equal to the total damage you reduced, and that's going to be huge because she does have that flat damage reduction on top of the normal damage reduction from dodge, so that's amazing. And then if unit is within 3 spaces of an ally, grants 7 HP healing. So really simple weapon overall, just like her base version. Also works on Dragon Flowers. Mercenary characters tend to work like this a lot of the time. Maybe not a lot of the time, but there's a good amount of units in the game who get stronger based on the amount of Dragon Flowers. And base Malice also had that, so she has this here, just with a better weapon. So yeah, Gust is her special, standard. You know, Gust is going to be really good for a lot of speedy units. And then she comes with attack speed prime and attack speed spiked wall, which you've seen before, or at least the spiked wall. This is the first attack speed variant. So there's my girl Malice getting it all. That is a pleasant surprise. Like I said, I'm really excited to try and pull for her. Was planning to save orbs, but they're like, we're going to drop another Arcanea character on the Desert Banner. So Malice, her art's amazing. Looks really pretty. And Dice would be proud for sure. So there's Malice. Next up is Tethys. So Tethys was also another given. you know, she was in the silhouette, and she's getting her first ult. She's a dagger flyer this time, gorgeous as usual, and she is going to be the 4-star D mode of this banner. So Jehanna dagger. It's kind of sad, honestly, because she's from Jehanna, but she's the D mode. I mean, she's here, right? But I thought she'd be a 5-star exclusive. So if a skill compares, so you have Phantom Speed again. You have the same effect that Malice has, except you are a D mode, and this is inheritable, so you can give this to dagger units, which is pretty cool. And then you also have +5 to all your stats if you're within 3 space of an ally, flat DR by 7 on the foe's first attack, and also you have damage reflection built into it. So it's pretty much like Malice's weapon in a lot of ways, so but this one's inheritable and your dagger unit. So very interesting. This is definitely one of the better inheritable weapons in the game that gives you support and also has a damage reflection, so it can make you a surprisingly good threat and nuke in combat. She comes with Dance, of course, Firestorm Dance 3, which is nice if you want to get Firestorm Dance, or sorry, no, Firestorm Dance 3 is already the tier 4 version, my bad. This one gives you Desperation and Canto, which has always been nice to have if you do have Firestorm Dance, so that is awesome. And then Guidance 3, not Guidance 4 because she is the D mode, so, but it is cool, we're getting more seasonal D modes with at least a tier 3, you know, premium skill with the gold border. So that is Tethys, great art and a great D mode unit if you're a fan of her, if you just want a nice dagger unit who is probably going to hit harder because of her weapon and modern stats, because base Tethys has like no attack. And then the last unit on the banner is the Willful Blades duo Marissa and Byleth. Now I like Marissa, Byleth not as much, but it's kind of, I mean, they're both mercenaries, I get it, but what is their connection? I don't know. But yeah, Laconic Axe is the weapon, and they are, sorry I didn't pay attention, what is their class type? Looks like Axe Cavalier. Yeah, Axe Cavalier. So, but yeah, like I was saying, Marissa, I do like pink-haired characters, and she is one of the cooler Sacred Stones characters. Laconic Axe, -1 cooldown, enables Cancer 2, grants +4 to all stats to allies within 3 rows, 3 columns, center on a unit. Okay, so supportive weapon, okay. At least starting off. For target ally within 3 rows, 3 columns centered on unit, if Savior is not triggered, that ally attacks twice. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So she supports her allies with stats and then lets them have a brave hit during their combat if they're not being triggered, if they're not being covered by Savior. That is crazy. That's a very unique effect. If target allies within 3 rows, 3 columns centered on unit attacks twice during combat. So this weapon is effectively a brave weapon with 16 might. Okay. And if a support partner is on the player team, targets any support partner, otherwise targets ally with the highest HP on player team, excluding unit. Okay, so the ally is going to be a support partner. Otherwise, the target's ally with the highest max HP on your team. Okay, so this isn't for every unit. It looks like it's going to be a little bit restrictive, but still, this has a lot of potential. I mean, brave hits are strong, even if, you know, Bright Catcher fell off. I still do think brave hits have a place and can definitely help you break through stuff, so that's really cool. If unit initiates combat or an ally is within 3, so here we go, just 3 rows, 3 columns everywhere. Conditions: grants bonus to all your stats equal to the number of allies within 3 rows, 3 columns centered on a unit, times 3 plus 5, maximum 14, deals true damage 20% of your speed, excluding AoEs. You reduce damage from the foe's first attack by 20% of your speed, including brave hits, and also you have null guard and 7 HP healing. So pretty cool weapon. That's like a hybrid support and offensive weapon. That seems to be the theme of this banner, so that's pretty nice. Moon bows are special. Definitely want to replace that with like no quarter if you can. Attack speed excel we've seen before. Assault force is a new B skill, so this initiates, if you initiate or is within 2 spaces of an ally, you inflict speed defense -4 on the foe, you neutralize penalties on yourself, you deal true damage 20% of your greater of unit speed or defense. Okay, and that excludes AoEs, reduces the percentage of foes non-special. Okay, so you have DR piercing by 50%. So interesting skill. Is this cavalry only? I have to check. They did make a post for it, I think. No, this is cavalry and flyers. Okay, so interesting skill. I definitely think there's competition for this, but having DR piercing, penalty neutralization, and also some true damage is nice. Odd Speedway 4, we haven't seen this since like Summer Golvik, so nice that another unit has it, even if it is another seasonal. This gives you no follow-up and extra speed. So yeah, that is duo mercenary Jehanna Desert, Marissa and Byleth. So interesting pairing for sure. I feel like they don't have a lot of common besides that they're mercs, But yeah, cute alt. I cannot talk today, guys. I'm sorry. So Garrick is here. You can see him with E1, but Garrick himself doesn't get an alt. But another mercenary, oh my goodness, mercenary, jeez, is getting a alt. And here's the harmonized skill first. Grants 1 extra space movement, and also not being able to be slowed by terrain. So that's something we've seen before with Canadian Lind, which is not as unique anymore, sad face. But you can pass through terrain and ignore it pretty much. So that's pretty cool. Simple harmonized effect, but can be useful for a cavalry unit like her. Alright, so yeah. The other mercenary I was talking about was Saber. Saber from Shadows of Valentia. You know, Valentia last year pretty much got no alts. It was only Celica, Emblem Celica last year, so we're starting off on a high note for Valentia fans. You get an alt for Saber, and I'm still waiting for that May alt. But here is Marisa taking out Nagi, and that is pretty much the banner. If Malice wasn't here, I wouldn't be that excited. So it's a okay banner, I suppose. But yeah, definitely some nice skills for sure. I mean, Lagoo's Loyalty is really good, and sadly for a lot of units that already use Lagoo's Friend that are fast, you might want to replace it with Lagoo's Loyalty. But I would say Lagoo's Friend is good enough most of the time. I feel like, you know, it's not a must-have skill. I mean, it's definitely an upgrade for faster units like Ike, but if you already have Lagoo's Friend, if you're trying to save orbs, I wouldn't necessarily try to get Ike just for that skill unless you really want it. But yeah, so that is the video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Please stay safe out there. Peace out.